I stood at the edge of the grand atrium aboard the Galactic Concord Station, my dress uniform itching at the collar, like it always did during these high-stakes events. The station was a marvel of interspecies engineering, a colossal ring orbiting a neutral star system, where humans, Zorathians, Valari, and a dozen other races hammered out alliances amid the vast emptiness of space. Crystal spires arched overhead, refracting the artificial starlight into rainbows that dance across the polished floors. Delegates milled about in clusters, their voices a symphony of translators humming in my earpiece. The guttural clicks of the insectoid cricks, the melodic trills of the avian lyrians, and the deep, resonant tones of Zorathians. My name is Captain Elias Thorne, a mid-level diplomatic attaché for the United Earth Federation. At 35, I climbed the ranks through sheer intellect and a knack for strategy simulations. But socially, I was a disaster. Always had been. I overthought every word, replayed conversations in my head like faulty holovids, and had a habit of blurting out truths when silence would serve better. My superiors called it unfiltered honesty, a polite way of saying I was awkward as hell. Deep down, I fear being just another cog in the machine, forgotten in the annals of galactic history. I craved something extraordinary, but not like this. Never like this. The event was the annual Concord Summit, where we renegotiated trade routes and defense pacts. Tensions were high after a recent border skirmish with rogue pirates, and everyone was on edge. I was there representing Earth's interests in the Joint Task Force, but mostly I observed, took notes, and tried not to trip over my own feet. That's when I saw her for the first time, Admiral Voss of the Zorathian Empire. She commanded respect like gravity pulls stars. Zorathians were humanoid, taller than us humans, with iridescent blue skin that shimmered under light, elongated ears and eyes like polished obsidian. Kalara stood at least 6'8", her uniform a sleek black armor weave adorned with glowing insignia of her rank. Her hair, a cascade of silver strands, was bound in intricate braids signifying her clan's ancient lineage. She moved with predatory grace, her presence silencing rooms. Whispers followed her. Conquer the Nebula Wars, strategists who turned the tide against the Void Swarm. She was a legend, untouchable. I watched from afar as she debated with Valari ambassador, her voice calm but unyielding, dissecting his arguments with surgical precision. My mind wandered, admiration mixed with something deeper. She wasn't just powerful. She was brilliant, a force that made the galaxy feel smaller. And then, during the formal reception, it happened. The atrium central podium hosted toasts. Delegates raised glasses of synthesized nectar, and it was my turn to speak, a minor address on human Zorathian cooperation. I stepped up, heart pounding, the crowd's eyes on me like laser sights. I cleared my throat, my inner voice screaming to keep it bland. Ladies, gentlemen, and esteemed beings, I began, my words echoing to the amplifiers. In the spirit of unity, we humans have much to learn from the Zorathian way, discipline, strategy, and unyielding resolve. Admiral Voss exemplifies this. She's not just a commander, she's captivating. The way she commands a room, it's like she's woven from starfire itself. If only we could all aspire to such allure. The words tumbled out before I could stop them. Honest? Yes. Inappropriate? Absolutely. I meant it as a compliment, a nod to her charisma. But in the sterile air diplomacy, it landed like a photon torpedo. Silence crashed over the atrium. Faces turned. Human delegates winced. Zorathians tilted their heads curiously, and Kalara's obsidian eyes locked onto mine. My face burned. What had I done? This wasn't just embarrassing. It could derail negotiations. I stammered an apology, but the damage was done. The crowd murmured, and I retreated to the shadows, pulse racing, imagining my career evaporating into the void. But then, something unexpected. Kalara stepped forward, her expression not furious, but intrigued. "Captain Thorne," she said, her voice a low rumble that vibrated through the translators. "Your words are bold. In Zorathian culture, such a public declaration initiates the rite of binding, a courtship trial of mind, heart, and will." The atrium erupted in gasps. I blinked, frozen. Courtship? Trial? This was a nightmare wrapped in a diplomatic fiasco. As the reception dissolved into chaos, I retreated to my quarters, replaying the moment. How could a slip of the tongue lead to this? Zorathian rituals were legendary. Formal, grueling affairs that tested compatibility through public spectacles. And now, I'd accidentally proposed one to their most revered admiral. The next day, summons arrived. The rite would proceed publicly, as tradition demanded. Refusal meant dishonor for both parties, potentially fracturing alliances. My superiors were furious but pragmatic. Play along, Thorne. Turn this lemon into lemonade, or at least a stable pact. The public trial began in the station's grand arena, a holographic coliseum where delegates gathered like spectators at a gladiatorial match. The air hummed with anticipation, projections of nebulae swirling overhead. Kalara stood opposite me on a raised platform, her posture impeccable, while I fidgeted in my uniform. The Rite of Binding, announces a Zorathian elder, tests the suitor's worth through 3 challenges: verbal duel, emotional confession, and shared vision. Success binds hearts. Failure severs ties. First, the verbal duel. We circled each other metaphorically, trading arguments on galactic ethics. Human expansion disregards ancient boundaries, Kalara challenged, her eyes piercing. You claim progress, but it's conquest in disguise. I countered, drawing on my strategic knowledge. Boundaries evolve, Admiral. Rigidity leads to stagnation. Your empire thrived by adapting. Why deny us the same? The crowd murmured approval. She parried with facts from forgotten wars, forcing me to think on my feet. It was exhilarating, her intellect a blade sharpening mine. For the first time, I didn't feel ordinary. I felt alive. Then the emotional confession. In a spotlight, we revealed vulnerabilities. I fear irrelevance, I admitted, voice trembling. Being just another name in the logs, forgotten. Kalara's turn. I command fleets, yet solitude haunts me. Power isolates. True connection eludes. The arena fell silent. Then applause erupted. Political tension simmered. Some delegates saw it as a bridge, others a scandal. Whispers of human audacity mixed with Zorathian innovation. The final challenge, shared vision. We debated a hypothetical alliance scenario, building a joint strategy against hypothetical threats. Our ideas meshed, my human flexibility complementing her disciplined tactics. By the end, the crowd cheered, but I was exhausted, humiliated yet oddly respected. As the trials concluded, Kalara approached. You have proven worthy, Captain. The rite continues privately, if you accept. I nodded, stunned. What began as mortification was shifting into something profound. We met in the station's observation deck, a domed chamber overlooking the stars. Nebulae painted the void in purples and golds, the hum of the station faint. Kalara stood by the viewport, her silhouette ethereal. Why interpret my words that way? I asked, sitting on a curved bench. You could have dismissed me. In Zorathian culture, public honesty about attraction initiates the rite, she explained, her voice softer, without the translator's edge. It's rare, sacred. Anger would dishonor us both. Besides, I saw truth in your eyes, potential. We talked for hours. Cultural differences unfolded. Zorathians viewed love as a strategic alliance, permanent once bound, while humans chase fleeting passions. Partnership is a fortress, she said, built on trials, enduring storms. I share my fears of career stagnation, of risks derailing everything. This could end my postings, label me a fool. Or elevate you, she countered. Politics reward boldness. Our union could symbolize unity. Emotional tension built, not lust, but a slow unraveling of guards. Her controlled facade cracked with light humor. Your lore comment? In Zorathian, it's akin to calling one a supernova, flattering if explosive. I laughed, the sound echoing. By dawn cycle, we decided. Accept the courtship formally. It meant navigating protocols, but the connection felt real. 6 months later, the galaxy had shifted. Our accidental alliance made headlines across feeds. I was promoted to commander, assigned to a joint human-Zorathian task force under Kalara's command. We patrolled disputed sectors, our partnership proving effective, my innovative tactics blending with her ironclad strategies. Political scrutiny was intense. Earth conservatives decried interspecies entanglement, while Zorathian purists questioned her judgment. Hearings grilled us. Is this diplomacy or distraction? We faced it together, our bond strengthening. In private moments aboard our flagship, the Stellar Accord, we discussed philosophies, her culture's emphasis on collective duty versus my human individualism. You've taught me flexibility, she admitted once, during a quiet watch. And you've shown me strength and vulnerability. 2 years on, promotions came. I became Rear Admiral Thorne, she Supreme Commander Voss Thorne. Our union formalized in a quiet ceremony blending rituals. We led a groundbreaking initiative, the Interstellar Harmony Doctrine, reshaping defense pacts to prioritize cooperation over conquest. The climax came during the Void Incursion, a real threat, echoes of old wars. Our joint fleet turned the tide, our synergies saving countless lives. In the aftermath, Galactic councils hailed us as pioneers. Reflecting now, in our shared quarters overlooking a tranquil planet, I marvel at how one embarrassing moment changed everything. Kalara rests beside me, her hand in mine, our partnership a beacon. You call me captivating, she murmurs, a teasing smile on her lips. And you turn my blunder into destiny. I reply, in the end, risks and honesty forge paths unforeseen. Mistakes aren't endings. They're the sparks of extraordinary lives.